With the conclusion of the NBA Finals, we are officially in the offseason, but reports from earlier today indicate that Mark Cuban is no longer in charge of basketball operations and that Nico Harrison has the full control of this team as far as the offseason trades and free agents, as well as the draft. But the owners do trust Nico. They gave him a pretty nice extension just a few weeks ago. However, they're going to be very hands off and let Nico pretty much have free control over how he wants his team to look like going forward. In this video, we're going to break down what that means for the team as we head into the offseason and why Mark Cuban lost control of the team. But how's it going, everybody? My name is Marcel Martin. This is Mavs Digest, where we go over everything Mavericks related. And before we get started with today's video, I want to try something a little bit different. This right here, man, we only got 8% of you guys with the bell turned on. If you want to be up to date on everything Mavericks related, make sure you hit that bell notification so you don't miss out on a single video that we drop. It's the summertime, the season might be over, but that does not mean the content will ever stop. But like I said in the intro, Mark Cuban is no longer in charge of basketball operations. It was reported earlier today, and that Nico Harrison, as our GM, has full control of his team, and the owners really do trust Nico. I mean, in his third year as our GM, we made the NBA Finals, and we all know that year over year, Nico Harrison has just done great things for this team, going after good talent, trying to reconstruct the team, and if we got a player that didn't work out, like a Davis Bertans or a Christian Wood, he immediately just fixed that issue by moving pieces. We saw in just this past season where we went and got Grant Williams, and in that same season we flipped him for PJ Washington. Nico Harrison is an amazing GM. We've seen it right in front of our eyes that he cares about this team. He cares about the success of this team, not just in the short term, but in the long term as well. But if we take a look at the report right here, this is from ESPN's website. This is the actual little article saying there is a clarity in the organizational flowchart that was murky in the past. Cuban, despite his claims after selling the majority share of the franchise midseason to the Adelson and Dumont families, no longer has control of basketball operation. Harrison reports to new governor Patrick Dumont, who is kept informed but has shown trust in Harrison to handle roster personnel matters. Dumont rewarded both Harrison and Kidd with multi-year contract extensions during this playoff run, which is amazing for the team because having new owners, you never really know what's going to happen. You're never too sure if it's going to be like a Cowboy situation where your owner is just way too involved. But knowing that the owners trust Jason Kidd, they trust Nico Harrison to take care of the personnel matters, they're going to worry about the business side, is beautiful. We don't have to worry about, and not saying Mark Cuban did this, but we don't have to worry about anybody stopping Nico Harrison from going after the player that he believes that we need, or to move the player that needs to be moved. Nico Harrison has done great work. I mean, we got Derrick Jones Jr. on a 1 year, like $2-3 million contract, and he's played phenomenal. In the upcoming days, we're going to see a contract come out of it for Derrick Jones Jr. for the long term. Maybe short term because the money's bigger next year, but regardless, Derrick Jones Jr. will be back. He will be a Dallas Maverick. We're going to see trades. We're going to see acquisitions. Even though we have the last pick in the draft, which might be Bronny James, who knows what's going to happen. But one thing's for certain, we trust in Nico Harrison, and it's amazing and it's great to know that also the owners trust in Nico Harrison. But I'll pull the article back up because it's a little bit tricky. It says there is clarity on the organizational flowchart that was murky in the past. Now, if you've been up to date with everything with the team, Mark Cuban selling it, he sold the majority stake. He still is a part owner. I want to say he is a minority owner of the team, but he sold the majority stakes to the Dumont and Allison family. However, he did want to retain basketball operation privileges. And so with this, there's not much that I can go off of. I tried to dig in to see why Mark Cuban lost those privileges. There was nothing showing that he gave up those privileges. But from what I'm hearing, what the rumors are going around is that there was some political conflict between the Adelson family and how they felt politically about the president and other politics, and how Mark Cuban might feel politically. Apparently, there was a little bit of headbutting, but we don't know if that's for sure yet. Maybe in the upcoming days or the upcoming weeks, there may be more information. But right now, as it stands, there is nothing stopping Nico Harrison from doing anything and everything he needs for this team. A lot of people have been saying that we need a sharpshooter. We need another scoring option. There's a lot of players that are going to be on the market. It was reported today that OG Anunoby may not go back to New York. That's a great 3-and-D player that this team could use. A little bit injury prone, but the defense would be phenomenal. Kevin Huerter from the Kings, another sharp shooting 3-point shooter who would be great for this team. Nico Harrison can do many things. He has a lot of connects in the league. He worked for Nike for 20 plus years. He was also a basketball player himself. Nico Harrison has the vision. He knows what this team needs to win. We made it to the NBA Finals, but the next step is not just to make the NBA Finals. It is to win an NBA Finals. And if the new owners believe in it, if I believe in it, if you believe in it, It will happen in the upcoming years. We just have to take our time, be patient, and trust in Nico Harrison. But it doesn't stop there. Because like I said, we're in the off season, but we do have reports that apparently it's a little bit different this year. This right here saying under new CBA rules, teams are now allowed to negotiate with their own players beginning today. Upcoming free agents or extension eligible players can agree to deals now instead of waiting until the new league year in a few weeks. The NBA offseason has officially begun. So like I said earlier, in the upcoming days, expect to see a contract extension from Derrick Jones Jr. From all the reports and everything that I've heard and seen, Derrick Jones Jr. wants to come back to Dallas. He had a chance to go with the Boston Celtics where he would have won a championship ring, but he may not have gotten the money that he wanted. I mean, I think he actually was offered more money. Actually, yeah, I want to say Derrick Jones Jr. was actually offered more money to go to Dallas, but I'm sorry, to go to Boston. But he wanted to come to Dallas to have a bigger role, to actually have an impact, and he believed in this team. And even though we didn't win in the finals, that doesn't mean we should just give up. It doesn't mean that Derrick Jones Jr. should just give up on the Dallas Mavericks. We're building something very great here, and regardless if he stays as a starter or if he comes off the bench, where some people feel like that's where he belongs, Derrick Jones Jr. is the only player on our roster that we really have to worry about that we may lose in free agency. And if it comes to that, I believe Nico Harrison will go after the right players, that he knows what this team needs. The only players that are really in question, as we've said before, is Tim Hardaway Jr., who's on an expiring contract, which might be enticing to some teams. You got Maxi Kleber and Dwight Powell, who still have a few years on their contracts. There's Markieff Morris, who we are also not sure who may or may not be back, but has a big locker room presence for this team. The future is bright in Dallas, as we also have great young guys in Jaden Hardy, Josh Green, Omax, Derrick Lively. The team's good. The team is good to compete for the next few years. However, changes will be made, whether they're big or small. That is to be seen. But to continue with what we got going on today, like I said earlier, the sharpshooter problem. Our three ball was not good in the later, in the later half of the playoffs. In the finals, it was just abysmal. And to put it into perspective, PJ Washington shot 23 of 49, which is 46.9%, from three against the Thunder in the playoffs. He shot 25 of 86, 29.1% from three every other playoff series. Derrick Jones Jr. shot 10 of 27, which is 37%, from three against the Thunder in the playoffs. But he shot 14 of 39, 35.9% from three every other playoffs this season. Derrick Jones Jr. really didn't fall off that much from his three, just a slight fall off. PJ, however, he made more threes, but he doubled his attempts almost. So that right there indicates that we need another three-point shooting player. We need someone who is just specialized in that. And that's why I mentioned earlier a player like Kevin Huerter, and we'll make another video about that. We'll talk about a lot of our options in the upcoming days. But obviously, there is a need for three-point shooting. Luka Doncic is a high-volume shooter. We know he'll take about 8 threes a game. He'll make at least 3 or 4. Kyrie Irving, he can shoot the three ball as well. But in the playoffs, we really didn't see, especially in the finals, we did not see amazing three-point shooting. And that's a problem that will need to be addressed. And again, I trust in Nico Harrison that problem will be addressed. That's not something that will be impossible for us to fix. And in the future, and in this upcoming season, we will have a much better three-point shooting team, I truly believe. But like I said, something that you want to look at, something that needs to be addressed. But continuing, next year will look good for the Dallas Mavericks. No matter how you feel about this year, no matter how you feel things may have went, the Dallas Mavericks are going to be built to contend for the next upcoming years, and the odds, they favor us. The Mavericks open up with the fourth shortest odds to win the 2024-2025 NBA Finals with the plus 900 odds. Super exciting to see respect given to this team. Thoughts to the top 5? You guys let me know down in the comment section down below. What do you think about the Dallas Mavericks being a top 5 most likely team to win the finals next year? We have the 5th best odds. I kind of like it. I like how there is faith and respect built upon this team, that whatever we did this year wasn't a fluke, that we're not pretenders, we're contenders, right? We went up against the Clippers, we went up against the Thunder, we went up against the Timberwolves, we just had to go up against the Celtics. We were the underdogs in every single matchup. We never once had home court advantage. We had to punch up every single time, but we never gave up hope. But the future's bright in Dallas. Nico Harrison is now the guy. He is our GM, and there is no other path between him and the ownership for approval. And from all reports that I've seen, the owners are going to give him just free control, free creative control of this team. There's nothing stopping Nico Harrison from doing anything. Not saying that Mark Cuban did stop Nico Harrison. That's one less roadblock, or one less part of the pipeline that he no longer has to go through to get things done for this team. I believe in Nico Harrison. I believe in the Dallas Mavericks. I believe in Kyrie, Luka, all these guys. But we're going to be right here all summer long reporting everything Mavericks related. So make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on a single thing. Check out our Twitter and Discord. Links in the description below. We are doing another giveaway this month. The winner will be announced actually the next week. I'm sorry, about 2 weeks, the first week of July. We will announce the winner of our giveaway. Make sure you become a channel member in order to enter our giveaway. And as always, y'all take care. Don't forget to drink water. Peace.